the heck Jeremy wants to bring it to you from. This is Live with 55. What is up, everybody? Sorry, didn't mean for that to be on there that long. Coming in for a very special edition of Live with 55 right now. Hope everybody's doing well. If you are watching on Facebook, please leave a chat. I'm really on here to do some technical support work. So if you're watching on Facebook, please give me a shout out on the chat line so that way I can see that you are talking. And I would appreciate that. We will do our normal weekly deal, though. Corey, what's good? Coming to us from the land of the YouTube. Uh, Look, a lot of stuff good this week. We have Louisvillian Rob. What's good? What's good? Need some Facebookers to comment. I know I said I want y'all on YouTube, but I did miss a lot of comments the other day during the live show, and I apologize. I just didn't know. Uh, so let's see if we can't get a Facebooker to comment or something over here. Let's go. We got a good week coming up here. We have the red white scrimmage tomorrow night. I will be in attendance covering that. If you see me, say what's up. If I've never met you before, tell me who you are, so that way you're not just like, "Hey, Jeremy, what's going on? Been a long time," and I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know who you are." Yeah, just let me know who you are. And then we got Pittsburgh on Saturday, which I was not worried about. I thought it'd be probably a close game because they always play us tough up there, regardless. But their coach made what I thought was one of the dumbest things I've heard all week, and I just heard another coach from the team down the road tell the world that his players weren't good enough, so he needed the fans to donate more money. And I thought that was just absolutely asinine. But for Narduzzi to come out and say that this team looks a lot like Satterfield's teams, man, you just shouldn't have done that, bro. You just should not have done that. What's good, Cashmere? What's good, Wes? What's good, Benny? Um, Still no. Let's check really quick again. Nice surprise for sure. I did this so I could do some technical work on here. Let me go to the Facebook. Let me tell you what I got going on tonight, because that's actually what concerns me the most is what's going on tonight. No, no Facebook. Listen, if you're watching on Facebook, say hi, bye, fart, anything. It is what it is. That's dope. First time 2024 football season ticket holder. What's good, Brian? Yes. All right. So let's get back to and then we'll wait for somebody on Facebook to comment, because so far they've not. We again red white game tomorrow. We got Pittsburgh on Saturday, and we'll talk more about the Pittsburgh game on Friday. Oh yeah, that's all my championship belts. I'm an avid collector. Plus, I got a hookup for them. So, love wrestling. Y'all know I do a wrestling podcast as well, Ringside Podcast. It's available here on Facebook, on Twitter. It's at Ringside Podcast. Facebook, it's Ringside Space Podcast. On YouTube, it's Ringside Space Podcast. Subscribe to it if you like wrestling. We've been doing a series with the stars of the new Netflix smash hit Wrestlers. Tonight, we got probably one of the biggest villains of the entire show, and one of Card Nation's biggest villains will be on the show tonight. I'm going to have to get cleaned up because I don't want him to have any kind of shots for your boy. It's Matt Jones going to be on the show tonight. Let's see. I just commented on Facebook. Is it showing? It is not. And they told me everything. Let's see. But to be fair, I don't see it on. I don't see a comment on. No, there are comments. Yeah, and they're not coming through on. Okay, so good to know. Everybody that's watching this on Facebook, I apologize. I cannot see your all's comments. Yeah, but yeah, it's part of the job, man. I mean, we are the official podcast for OVW, and we're long before he become a part of it. So that's just a part of the job. I intend to lay into him. So no worries there. It is what it is. Brom should hang 50 on Narduzzi just for that comment. Yeah, boo. I know. Um, so it is what it is. That's why I wanted to get up here. I wanted to set up my equipment early, and I was like, well, maybe I'll do a quick live chat. And while we're on here, I will go ahead and I am doing y'all here. This is behind the scenes type stuff. You've got Mel. A live show now. And no Facebook comments are coming through. Now what I will do is I'll put Facebook on my phone and pull it up and turn it down. We got it right here. Mike Puckett says, let's just kick their butts. Robin Skirvin said, what up? All right. Gotcha. Papa Smurf handling was awesome. Yeah. He is sometimes delusional. Have everyone switch over. Look, it's another thing. When you watch on YouTube, it generates so much more revenue for the podcast. And I would love to be able, obviously, everybody's got the thing they'd love to be able to do. I would love to be able to do this full time. In order for that and not have to ask y'all for donations all the time, I'd rather everybody subscribe via YouTube so we get a little bit more love and we get a little bit more, they'll share it to more people there than it does on any of the other ones. So think about it. It's easy to sign up for a YouTube. How about those Cardinals? Look, there's so much I want to talk about with you all that I'm going to save for Friday night, but what's up, Brent? My guy Brent Kaufman is watching. It was amazing. It was an amazing night. It was a night that we have had in the past where everything goes right for us and wrong for the other opponents. And we went out and we made a statement win. I've got so much written down for the show Friday. It's going to be awesome. And we will have Brandon Radcliffe live on the show Friday night, 7 p.m. right here on the YouTube, on the Facebook, on the Twitter. I'm not going to call it X because, like I said the other day on Twitter, I was like, can you imagine me getting up and saying, what's up to all my exes? No, I'm not doing that. I'm saying, what's up to all my tweeps? They're exes for a reason. Not going to talk to them no more. So we got the Pittsburgh game Saturday. Also, something really cool. I was contacted today by a company that said that they are going to start doing, and they did. They actually put something up almost immediately. They're doing live shows where you can hop in. You got to pay money for it, but you can hop into one of their lives this Saturday. It is Mike James and Shane Behannon. What's up, Robbie? Got to be the Cardinals with me, but right, absolutely, Corey. But you hop in, and they're going to have different people every week, a past and a current player in basketball and in football. This first one just has to be basketball, happens to be basketball-wise, basketball-centric, maybe I should say better. Let's go. What is the name of my guy Danimal reposting the post? I appreciate the sharing and all that stuff. Rave On. If y'all haven't subscribed to it yet, it's an app called Rave On Sports. And apparently they not only have those lives that you can pay for to talk exclusively with past and current players, but they've got a whole chat room set up to where you can talk to them. You can like have a private chat room like in the AOL days, but you're just talking about your game. So it is what it is. Brian says, thanks again to the Cincy AD and honorable mention to the Wisconsin AD. For sure. Let's get back to the Facebook part of it. Jeremy, I know you know Maven, but you should pull up sometime during the night show. Cashmere, I do all the time. What are you talking? I donate to his show like I donate every other week, but I'm in there at least once a week, either donating or just talking. I try. Listen, y'all can do what y'all want, but I appreciate. Listen, at the end of the day, I appreciate exposure regardless. Me and him have about the same amount of followers. we both have the same platform pretty much because whether y'all believe it or not, the YouTube and the podcast platform way bigger than the radio platform. But yeah, I'm on there all the time. I'm in there. I'm in there like swimwear. Quentin says he doesn't stay up that late. Look, I love Marcus to death. Marcus has been my friend since college. I actually am the one. I had Marcus when me and Steven Justin started CSZ on 93.9, and Justin was going to step away for a little bit. I called up Marcus. I got him on the. I had him come in. I think he may have been doing some guest stuff with Diener from time to time, but first person I called was Marcus because I knew how he was. I knew he was. I knew he was electrifying on the microphone, and I was like, "Yeah, you got to come in here with us once a month." And then once a month turned into him showing up whenever he wanted to, and that was very welcomed, and we had a great time. But staying up that late's not an issue for me because I work from home. So if I stay up late, I can always get up a little bit later during the day, the next day. So that's not a big issue. But it is. Marcus is very entertaining. He's even more entertaining at night than he is during the day because he can be loose and unleashed. And it is a good time. It's a real good time. Every time somebody donates to his show, he takes a sip off of his little drink, and by the end of the show, he's spilling secrets he ain't supposed to. And that's why I've had to stop telling him stuff because he's told my secrets before. So I'm like, all right, Marcus, I'm cutting you off. You're cut off. But yeah, I love Midnights with Marcus Maven. Marcus has been my dude, like I said, since it's before his freshman year at U of L. The summer. So quick story. I was in my dorm room at U of L, and my best friend, Lavelle Boyd, y'all know that, comes walking into my dorm room and was like, "What time's the party tonight?" And I'm like, "Well," because at that point I was putting together parties and stuff. He says his co-host is the one that he can't tell a secret to. Right. Okay. Yeah. Steve's the one you can't tell a secret to. I tell Steve. Steve tells Marcus. Marcus tells everybody. So let's get that all the way straight. Love him. Thanks. I appreciate that, Cashmere. But so the story goes, Lavelle comes walking in. I was still in like hotel part. It wasn't nothing major. It wasn't nothing illegal. But I was a little bit older than the rest of the guys. I was the only one old enough to rent out a hotel room, so I'd rent out a hotel room. And my brother and Lavelle and Tony Williams, they'd all come over, and we just invite some of our friends over, invite some other people over. Curtis Quick in the building, my guy. It was good to see you this past weekend at the tailgate. You know, we get some female. I gotta talk slow. We get some females to come over, and we just have a good time. And Lavelle bust into the dorm room and was like, because I didn't lock my door. Bust into the dorm room was like, "Hey, what are we doing this weekend?" I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "Well, because my buddy here, he just started. He's going to be on the Louisville basketball team. He wants to come hang out too." And sure enough, Marcus comes walking through the door, and it is what it is. It was really good, honestly. No, Katina was not hot back then. Stop it, Brent. But yes, Curtis, it was really good seeing you. I wish I would have been in a little bit better health so I could have stayed and talked, but I was in a lot of pain like the last 5 minutes of the show. I was starting to get frazzled, and I mean, I'm getting a little bit better every week, so it went really, really well. But I wish I could have stayed a little bit longer. Quentin says, "I guess this is the perfect opportunity. I'm trying to plan a trip November the 16th to the 19th. Louisville plays at Miami on the 18th. Tickets are dumb cheap and flights aren't bad." Cool. Quentin says, "Cashmere, I have always oh, okay. Gotcha. So it just depends on what time of the day and stuff. You know, it is what it is. But I love Marcus. Anytime he needs me, I'm there for him. He very rarely calls me to come on to the show. I very rarely call him because I know he's busy. He knows I'm busy. So it is what it is. But look, this went a little bit longer than I planned on it going. I was trying to get some data for the people. Let me bookmark this while I'm wrapping myself up. Cashmere. Again, tomorrow night, red-white scrimmage. Come say hi if you're there. Saturday night, 6:30 on the CW. Good Lord. We play Pittsburgh. We handle Pittsburgh. We send them home to hide underneath their dorm beds. It is what it is. What do we got going on over here? Okay. And any TV broadcast. Yeah, it's on the CW. WBKI or WBKO or WMBC or WABCDFG. I don't know which one it is. It's one of them's. It should be good. And if you're a wrestling fan, first off, at 7:15, you got to be tuned into the Ringside Podcast, which is now streaming live as well on Facebook and all that. Around 8 o'clock, our guest Matt Jones will join, and that's going to be a complete dupe show. But we're going to have him on there. We're going to talk to him. And then after that, you got NXT and Dynamite going head to head tonight from 8 to 10. NXT has loaded up the show, so that should be good. If you have cable and don't have YouTube TV, what are you? Yeah, exactly. If you don't have it, you should already have it. Mike Puck, I'm really excited to hear you interview Matt. Look, when they told me that this week that was our guest, I kind of cringed a little bit, but it is very, very relevant to what we've been talking about the last few weeks because we have been reviewing the Netflix smash hit Wrestlers, which if you haven't watched it, even if you're not a wrestling fan, watch it. It's a great documentary. It's up there with Last Chance U. That's the way I grade it. Out of all the documentaries I've seen on Netflix, Last Chance U is number one. Wrestlers is up there with it. I have to keep watching. I watch Wrestlers like I watch Last Chance U, like repetitively. So we have him on there. He played a big part in the show. He bought OVW about a year ago. Listen, yeah, you can just mute him when he talks. Look, just throw us on the screen, mute it if you don't want to hear Matt, or if you want to ask him a silly question, or if you want to go hard at him, you can. He'll see it. Daniel may not read it, but we'll see it. I'll chuckle, and it'll be a good time. So that's what this week's looking like. So tonight, Ringside Podcast. Tune in if you can. We'd appreciate it. Tomorrow night, Red White game. And we still don't have Facebook comments coming through. So thank you for helping me out with this because I have that data to send back to Restream to get that straightened out. And Saturday, we take on Pittsburgh. We dominate Pittsburgh. So far in games, the first 6 games of the year, and don't worry, Cashmere, I'm going to get to it. I'd like to talk about us first, though. We won 2 of the games we thought we might have lost. We might be losing. 6-0. Like a lot of us predicted 4-2 through the first 6. We're 6-0. Matt will be announcing Bashir. Stop it, Brent. Brent says Matt will be announcing Bashir versus Cameron in a steel cage match tonight. If he does, it's breaking on our news. It is what it is. Breaking on our show. It is what it is. And in these last 6, we had 3 before the beginning of the year that we were like, Pittsburgh might be tough. Oh, Miami might be tough. Kentucky might be tough. After beating Notre Dame and NC State, those were the 2 I was worried about the most. If y'all go back to the shows and listen, I was like, for me, it's Notre Dame, NC State, Miami, Pittsburgh, then Kentucky is who I'm worried about. So we've already beat the top 2 off that list. We should beat the bottom 3 with no issue. Can y'all even imagine 12-0? I'm not going to jinx anything. I'm not putting it out there just yet. As Louisville fans, we all know there's going to be the one clunker where we should have ran the team off the field and we don't. That's just being a Louisville fan. But 12-0. Gosh. Okay. My thoughts on the Coach Up the Road's comments. As I stated earlier, I thought Narduzzi's comments were the dumbest thing I'd ever heard. And they would be any normal week had the Coach Up the Road said what he said. What an ignorant thing to say. Oh, we'd have better players if the fans gave more. First off, you're making your fans mad because they're doing all they can. Kentucky fans that are not in the city of Louisville, for the most part, not very financially blessed. There it is. So if you want the fans to give, maybe you should give up some of your salary. Maybe that'll help out for what the fans can't give. But then secondly, being one of the players, can you even imagine? Steve said 11-1 today. Well, if I told you half the things that Steve said to me during the day, that would be a little bit more shocking. It's like how like you just made every one of your players feel like a piece of crap. Casimir says, not yet, but yeah, absolutely. Quentin says he can imagine. Saturday showed me. Look, Notre Dame was by far, no doubt, the best team on our schedule. Not even close. I don't mean one of the other teams can't sneak up and get us. I can't wait to see the fellas on the court tomorrow night. I can't wait either, Wes. Q says, dominated. We absolutely dominated. Speaking of domination, Miss Kelly's in the building, and her son started the game off with a game pace, a game tempo defining play. He just took it. Well, D-Wall, you're not really late. I decided to pop up here. I'm in my spare room where my computer, where I do like my other podcast, the Ringside Podcast, and then office stuff. I'm in the office. I like to do the normal CSC podcast from down in the kitchen while we're still waiting on the basement to be redesigned or redone, not redesigned. But without Miss Kelly's son changing the game immediately, who knows if we even win that game? I mean, we probably still do, but that set the pace, that set the tone, that set the tempo. Charlie Fant in the building, my guy. What's up? Hi, Mama K. Hi, Mama Kelly. Hi, Card Family. Hi, I'm late. Hi. J-Mo, my guy J-Mo. If y'all watched or listened to the show from Saturday, he came on. He talked a little bit about wrestlers on Netflix because he is affiliated with OVW, one of their agents. And to show me appreciation for getting him in the Notre Dame game, he gifted me with a authentic Larry O'Bannon jersey. He said it was authentic. Now, J-Mo is the type of dude that will rib me and give me something he ordered off of Fanatics and told me it was game worn. So I don't know. Charlie, I've just been doing it, man, trying to make it. And what's good? First drive, Quincy got the pick. Absolutely. He set the pace. He set the tempo. That's one thing. In big Louisville games, whether it be Terrell Floyd intercepting the first play of the game, taking it back for 6 against Florida, or it be Quincy getting that first pick, it is what it is. We have playmakers. J-Mo, much love, because that is a treasured possession of mine, even if you did get it from sending in 10 proofs of purchase off of your Cheerios to get it in return. So, yeah, Miss Kelly, like Q is doing exactly what you told us he would do, what we thought he would do this year as compared to last year. Improving. He's shooting up the draft charts. That's awesome. He is making his way into my, as somebody that saw a lot of Louisville football over the last 25, 30 years. He is now in my top 15 cornerbacks of all time. He's absolutely going pro soon, but he has made it to top 50. And I know a lot of y'all are like, oh man, that sounds like you're not very high on him. No, I've just seen Sam Madison and Rico Clark and Ray Buchanan and Anthony Floyd and gosh, the Gerard Holloman, and the list goes on and on. Quincy's up there. By the end of the year, he can be in the top 10, and I know that it'll mean nothing to anybody, but he will be in my top 10. Yeah, that's true, Brian. He got the last pick, which was a pick 6 against Sam Hartman last year. He got the last interception of the game, and he got the first interception of the game this year. Yeah, that's great. Fair enough, J-Mo. J-Mo said he did not buy it off of Fanatics. Kerry Rhodes, absolutely. I mean, the list goes on and on. If I had to write a list down, but just phenomenal players in Louisville history. James Sample. I put Quincy right there with James Sample. James Sample is my number 15. I got Quincy right there neck and neck with him with the WFS, which is the Wahman formulation system. I just made it up. But he's right there at number 15 for me. So he's going to do nothing but make his way up the list the rest of the year. William Gay is definitely one of the top 15 in my mind. I'm trying to – there's somebody else. Who else? Gosh. I'm trying to think. Terry Jones. Stephanie A., what's going on? Anyway, there's just so many. There's so many. Let's just put it that way. So many. Even you got just didn't get a fair chance to prove that's absolutely. And you know what, Jair Alexander for sure. D-Wad, for sure. That was another one I was trying to think of. Calvin Pryor, top 15. Just didn't get a fair chance to prove it all last year as he should have. That's absolutely. It was definitely a humbling experience for all the players and families, and we're so thankful and grateful for all of you all that stuck with us, because anybody else would have just jumped off the scene. But thankfully for us, the Dingleberry leading our ship jumped off first, so the rest of the people didn't have to jump off. So it is what it is. Brian Davis, what's up, Brian? Brent says, take 1 minute and explain why Craig Yeast was terrible here. Or Russ Yeast. I don't think he was terrible. I don't think he was as good as he should have been, or as he showed afterwards, but I don't think he was terrible here. I just think he was a B minus B cornerback here. I don't know. I'm not as hard. I've seen that narrative from a few people, and I'm not as harsh on them as you all are. How do the players feel now that they stay loyal to U of L now? That's a good question from Miss Kelly. How does Q feel with them staying loyal and being 6-0? Yeah, but Brent, that could. Do you know who his defensive coordinator was? Yeah, I mentioned Anthony Floyd was one of the. Him and Michael Josiah were the freshman duo rookie best duo rookies of all time, in my opinion. It is what it is. I thought he was always lost. That has to do with coaching, because he had horrible coaching. Yeah. Okay, that's what you wanted me to say. Gotcha, Brent. Brent's always got me. What was defense is legit. It's always yeah. Well, yeah. Sorry, I missed you Saturday afternoon. I was live when I came out the tailgate. Oh, no, not a problem. Not a problem. Look, it's all love. We're all here. It is what it is. Let me go to my nifty new design, my video designs, and share a few statements with you all, and then I'm gonna hop off here. I may have to count this. No, I'm not counting this as a whole show. All right. If you want to support us, here's one way you can. You like and subscribe today for exclusive notifications for when we go live on all social media platforms. Get out to all of the home game tailgates and see the Collision Course crew tailgate in action. For Peg's Beer Lounge, Chris Williams brings you the best in Louisville in a variety of dishes. In Fitness Market, your number one ally in weight loss and lifestyle changes. Point blank in the period. That's how you do it. He feels it's play hard to go home. Absolutely. We are home for sure. All right, guys, I'm going to hop off here. I appreciate everybody trying to help me out with this issue. It still is an issue. I'm going to try to get this fixed. I don't know why this happens every other month. I don't get the Facebook stuff. Who do I have as a player of the game tomorrow? Ooh, Wes, ask me a tough question before I hop off here. Dennis. It's Dennis for me. Either my number one is Dennis, number two is Sky, and number three is Trey. No, flip that. Number one is Trey, number two is Sky, number three is Dennis. And I have a feeling that Sky is going to be on one team and Trey and Dennis are going to be on the other. That's no behind the scenes stuff. That's just from what I heard from the presser yesterday. And how good was it? One last thing, and then I'll hop off here. I promise. How good was it yesterday to hear Coach Kenny Payne validate everything I've tried to tell y'all this offseason? Nola wasn't going anywhere. Told y'all that. He was only doing that as a favor. Told y'all that. It is what it is. So, and shout out to my guy Dalton Pence. He does the Locked On Louisville podcast, and it's on YouTube as well. It was just good to hear him talk about everything that we've been talking about. Tyler, they felt good the whole time. I told y'all that he felt good the whole time. So it just sometimes it's good to get a pat on the back. You feel me? as far as everything is concerned. So, all right, you all, thank you for taking 30 minutes out. I didn't meant to do 10 minutes. We did 30. This almost counts as the whole episode of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast, which we won't count it. It'll stay under the live of 55s. Higgy's supposed to be taking care of that. He don't always do it. But again, thank you to our sponsors, Collision Course Crew, Four Pegs Fitness Market. Thank you all for supporting us and checking us out no matter when we come on. And if y'all have any questions, DM me on Twitter or shoot me a message on Facebook. YouTube really needs to add a chat, like a DM option. It is. Fabian in the building. Finally, Fabian jumps in for the last 10 seconds of the show. Appreciate you jumping in. You're just going to have to rewatch it and re-listen to it. It is what it is. Everybody on Facebook, everybody on YouTube, everybody on Twitch, everybody on Twitter, we appreciate you. Until next time, this has been Live with 55. Roll those credits.